3, 2, 1, let's jam. Hey everybody, welcome to League of Legends Anonymous Podcast, episode 285, 285, 285, 285, 15 short of 300 episodes of Lola
Five more
Podcast.
than 280.
5 less than 290. And
we can do simple math on this podcast.
and we can do 15 more episodes. So,
Are you sure, Blake?
Well, I mean, I'll do them solo if I gotta. I'm not gonna stop this close to a landmark. Like, your cars ran out of gas at the end of the NASCAR race. You push that fucker over the line, and then you fire your crew for abandoning you with no gas.
Can you fire us?
Yeah.
If we're already gone.
Yeah.
Can you fire volunteers?
Yeah, you can. You can fire volunteers. Yes, you can.
Okay.
I
It
don't
can be
work
done.
here.
It's
All
just
right,
it
you
doesn't
want a
have
job?
it just doesn't have the sting that it has whenever you fire, real employees.
I didn't
You
even
know
want
what
to
I
be
mean?
here. Blake made me do it.
That's right. And I'm gonna stop making you do it, you son of a bitch.
Oh,
You don't
no,
pull your
that's
weight
even
around
worse.
here.
All that matters is the perception of control over your life.
Right. And that I have it. And that's the important part.
Yes. Yeah.
So, all right. So now that we know who's got the leash, who's joining me on the podcast tonight? It's your boy Wormlax. What's up, man?
What is up, my dude? Happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I turned what was it?
100?
Yeah, 4,800. That's right, 4,800 years old. I'm a
Wow.
lich, and I look great. I don't look a day over 4,890 or whatever.
It's great for you, man.
Yeah.
I'm really happy for you.
So, yeah,
Those virgins you're killing are really
guys-
coming through.
you guys should have met Jesus. He was great. Once in a lifetime guy. Anyway, also with me
Aren't
is
we all?
Gensos.
Hey,
Who's
it's me. Blake, what
Gensos?
am I allowed to have for breakfast tomorrow? Since you're controlling every aspect of my life.
Well, I think the first thing you gotta do is shave that beard. 'Cause
Nah,
your
man,
beard-
it's
your
my
beard's
quarantine
getting
beard.
longer than your hair is getting greasy. And I
it
don't know
is.
that
I
that's
haven't
a good
showered in
look.
like 3 days. I found out my school district is staying remote for the first quarter.
So are you trying to
So-
build up a protective layer of grime so the virus can't
No,
get
I just
you?
don't have
or-
to have any personal hygiene
Ah.
for a long time.
If I have-
Dangerous game.
If I have no exposed skin because I'm covered in my own filth, then
don't
the
have to wear a
virus
mask.
can't get to me. Yeah.
Yeah. I just pull
brilliant.
my mustache over my lips. I don't have to wear a
Mm.
mask anywhere.
Perfect.
I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure I saw that on a briefing.
You just need now. You just
What we
to grow
need
your
is
hair
bearded
out.
men to just really step up in the machismo department. We'll knock this virus right out.
Man, brother.
Hey, you'll go
I'm
away in the
screwed
summer.
then. I'm totally screwed. I can't grow a beard like that.
Just grow it out until it stops looking patchy. That's what I did.
I
By
don't
long-
think
it's
that's
like a comb over of
possible.
beards.
All right, if you can't grow a beard, it's fine. I got a different plan. You get the blood of some virgins,
All right, I'm on board.
and then it
so
doesn't
far.
matter if the virus kills you because you live 4,800 years plus.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Give
Alright.
or take. I stopped counting in the
How many do you have to
3,700s.
sacrifice per year though? Because that could, I don't know.
I
that
mean,
sounds like a lot of work.
Less than you'd think. Which is good because they're getting rarer over time.
That's what I was saying. Where does
Yeah.
one find a virgin these days?
Millennials are whores.
No, that's
I
Are
actually-
they
can't-
all over in Missouri?
yeah, they're
That's actually
everywhere.
the whole Podcast
You
before,
just-
and why he brings people to the Discord. He's
That's
just.
it's why I go to church.
Oh.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, every time I come down here to play video games, my wife always says, "Have fun hanging out with the virgins." So
Did she say that? Should you introduce her to my children? And just be like, hey, this guy.
Look,
there's
I
other.
approve.
I have a child too, Blake, but
Right.
we adopted. So
But
there's
she
other ways
didn't
to
call
be kids.
you a virgin. She called us virgins. And
That's true.
while that may
Yeah.
be true of Wormlax, I have actual evidence that it's not.
I don't know, man. I want to see those DNA test results.
Oh, okay. I mean, I could just
Probably
literally
next podcast.
show you a picture of
Call
my
him
son.
bluff.
I'm like, yeah, I got DNA. I didn't trust my wife. Let me go get the scans from the DNA documents.
Oh, she was cheating on you with another incredibly handsome man.
Yeah, she's cheating with my identical and genetically identical twin. which I knew the kid wasn't mine. I'm a virgin. Oh, I almost stepped into it right there. Almost did it. So anyway, how you guys doing tonight?
A lot better now, man. That was
Not a lot. It is. I'll tell you this. On my birthday, I took the day off. Right, I took the day off work. We do that in my office. Like I can't pay people well, so instead I give them perks. Like,
your birthday off.
yeah, you take your birthday off every year. Go
Wait,
for
do you
it.
give them their birthday or your birthday?
No, theirs, their birthday.
No.
But I also take my
It's
birthday.
Blake Day. Everyone gets the day.
It's a very narcissistic holiday.
Celebrate me.
Yeah, it's a very
Actually,
narcissistic
Blake
holiday.
Week, they only get the actual birthday off, but then at the office the whole week, it's constant celebrations in his name. So
Yeah,
They get the day off, but they have to come to Blake's birthday party
yeah, absolutely.
at Chuck E.
I mean,
Cheese.
Yeah, well, they have the arcade there. You just
can
buy
do
the
whatever
game
you
card
want
and you just
at
play.
my birthday.
I
I've
tell
been
you
to Chuck E.
this.
Cheese as an adult.
So
It's really great.
I was gonna say that too. Like my son was like, "I want to go to Chuck E. Cheese." I'm like, "Yes."
I didn't go with kids. I just went. One of my
Doesn't
friends
matter.
used to work there,
The
and we got a bunch
pizza's
of free
actually
pizza
pretty
and
good
stuff.
too.
Yeah,
Like it's really not. I mean, it's no Casey's. Like gas station pizza is just objectively better. It is. I'm serious. It
that's a
truly
very
is.
regional reference, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so Zillia, like Zill, he never had it before, and I was like, dude, you're in Kansas City, you got a Casey's. I know where you live because I used to live in Kansas City. I was like, there's a Casey's. It's down the fucking street from you. Casey's, by the way, for all y'all that don't know, it's a gas station. We talked about it a few weeks ago, and Double was like absolutely blown away that anybody would buy gas station food. And I'm like, this is
Gas
Missouri.
station food's the best.
Thank you. So
Gas
anyway,
station sushi is great.
I don't know about that. There's a line there. But the pizza is kick ass if you go to a Casey's. So like Casey's makes their shit like handmade and then they run it through like a legit oven on site. Like it's real. Like they have a deal. And so like I had their hamburger, which is like just beef or whatever. Pizza is my favorite there. It's kick ass. Like they make real good, like better than Pizza Hut, better than Domino's, better than any of that shit. And it's like cheap. Like it's like
Hamburger
$8.
pizza?
What? Really?
Is
You've
it-
never had that? Just beef. Just beef pizzas.
Like ground beef on a pizza.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had that either.
What the fuck is the matter with you guys? That's the best pizza.
I
Haven't
disagree.
heard of that.
You
I mean, I
disagree?
won't
You've never
disagree,
had
I've
it.
never had it.
You
Yeah.
can't disagree with me on this. This is
I just
bullshit.
feel like if it was the best pizza, I would have tried it already.
I feel
eat
like
lots of pizza.
you're a Neanderthal that hasn't tried ground beef pizza. Beef
I've tried
has
lots of different
existed.
pizzas.
This is America, goddammit. There's cows everywhere. Go
Yeah, I've
kill
had,
one
like-
and put it on your pizza. It's fucking delicious.
I've had like steak on pizzas,
What?
like little steak slices. Not like
Why?
full, but like. 'Cause
I mean,
it's
that just
good.
seems like a waste of steak. But
No, it's
ground beef,
like
is-
crappy steak, like flank steak.
why? Flank steak's
it's
not
good.
good. Hamburger is good. Ground
I don't-
beef is good, and it's cooked in that environment. You can cook it on a grill or in an oven or in a pan or whatever. Doesn't matter. It's just
Wait,
a
do they
real.
put raw ground beef on the pizza and then run it through the oven and hope it cooks?
Yeah, at 400 fucking degrees, and it does cook. That's how you cook food. Why am I arguing with you on how to cook
I've
food?
never seen anyone
You-
cook ground beef in the oven.
You expose meat to heat for a period of time,
Yeah,
and then it gets cooked, and that's how cooking happens. Like
I know, and the type of like heat that you apply to it changes how it tastes.
you can't give me a stroke. I'm 4,000 years old. I can't
Wait,
take
wait,
it. My system cannot
Like,
take this. This will
have
be
you ever
what
been
ends
like,
me.
I want some tacos. I'm gonna cook my ground beef in the oven.
No.
I mean, it's not the most efficient way to do it, but it doesn't mean it doesn't cook it. Like it's still like
Have you
you
ever
ever
been
done-
like, I want a hamburger. I'm going to put it on a grill. Do you realize
Yeah.
that a grill is literally a source of heat by which your meat is suspended over it? Right?
Yeah, and
Right,
there's some
okay,
sources
so
of
let's
heat
do
that are
this.
superior
Do you know
for
what an
cooking.
oven is? It's a source of heat that is a set distance away from your meat that cooks it.
Yeah, this is all true.
So what the fuck? It's the same
I
thing.
don't see what your problem with this way of cooking is, Jensen.
Like,
I don't
what
know.
am I? How is this hard? I don't
This whole hamburger like pizza thing's throwing me off.
get one. I'm gonna order one to your house. Like, we're gonna get you a pizza.
Let me see where the nearest Casey's is.
Hey, Patreon supporters, if you send me, if I get $10 in new net positive donations, I'm gonna send this motherfucker a hamburger pizza. He can wash it down with one of Zill's corn sodas. Those are fucking gross, by the way.
God.
No,
Wait. I think
it literally just tastes like corn. I mean, it's liquid corn.
there's one right outside of Colorado, right over the Kansas
Do you have a
border.
Casey's? You have a Casey's down there? They make the best.
Right outside. Let me see. My home address.
Yeah, say it out loud. Say out your home address.
Yeah.
Dox yourself
It's
on the
it's
podcast.
only 4 hours away from me.
Ah, it's
They-
totally worth it.
Probably won't deliver.
Are you sure?
Going
What
out
if I
on
pay
a
him a
limb.
lot of money?
I'm just telling you, if you want an experience, the next time you end up driving to Kansas assume you're
Good one,
gonna
Blake.
buy vegetables or something, and you want to drive to Kansas for that.
See the rolling hills
See
for
the-
12
There-
hours of
there are no
driving?
hills. Kansas is up. Like my in-laws live in Kansas. They have nothing there.
I blocked the drive through Kansas out of my mind.
So I'll tell you this. I drove through Kansas, and there's a spot called like the Flint Hills or something like that. It's like almost to my in-laws' house. And I drove through it, and I'm like, they have no idea what hills mean. Like, but I mean, to the rest of the state, like, okay.
Slightly hilly.
I'd be like, there's a lump in your pasture. And they're like, no, those are rolling hills.
The
Look
Flint
how-
lumps don't really
look
sound
how-
as good.
Look how fucking majestic they are. It really breaks up the
fair,
monotony, doesn't it? And I'm like,
I've
no,
lived
it
at the beach
doesn't.
my entire life, and so I'd never really seen any hills. And when I moved out to Colorado, they were pretty hilly.
Well, Colorado is a
Those are
mountainous
actually called
state.
Yeah, I hadn't
mountains.
seen Colorado
Yeah,
yet.
those
I
are
was like-
real big hills they got down there.
But I was driving through Kansas to get to Colorado, and I was like,
Those
wow, these
aren't
are
hills. No, they're not. Drive through
I don't
Missouri.
I'll have to go back. I'll
Drive
have
through
to check
Missouri.
it.
Like our roads literally have to snake through the hills. Like they don't go straight. Our roads are all curved as shit. Like it was fucked up is like my in-laws in particular come to Missouri to visit every now and then, right? And I'll have to drive somewhere and they're like, "We'll just follow you there. You know where you're going." And I have to drive like 25 miles an hour everywhere I go because they're from Kansas and they're not used to roads having like slight curves. And so they're like, we're going to die if the car goes over 25. We'll just slide right off the road into these huge, monstrous hills that they have here. Our car will never be found at the bottom of that ravine. And I'm like, that's a regular hill, guys. It's not a ravine. That's what hills look like. They're like, no, we got hills. These are super hills. And I'm like, no, they're fucking not. Okay. So it's fucked up. So anyway, we're 15 minutes in and we haven't talked about League yet. We should probably do that.
What's that?
Yeah, well, I mean, we do this from time to time. You know, we talk about the actual thing that the podcast is named after. I really should have named this podcast just Fucking Around Anonymous. And then,
Title league.
then everybody would be like, oh, yeah, this is the greatest Fucking Around podcast I've ever listened to. They should
They
put
Sometimes talk about video
They
games.
should put like 60 minutes of this shit together, and then I'd totally support them. I'll buy that guy pizza. He needs one.
I'll give $10 on Patreon
Yeah.
plus the $1,000 delivery fee from
Yeah,
Kansas.
$1,000. Well, no, you can get hamburger pizza literally anywhere. I'm just telling you, Casey's makes a fine pizza, is what I'm getting at. Like, it's a really good pizza.
I don't think
Worm
you can get
likes-
it anywhere.
Do you live anywhere near Casey's?
No, I live in Michigan, so
Do they not have Casey's in Michigan?
I don't think so. I feel
All right,
like
I'm
I would
gonna,
know about
I'm gonna
it.
do a
but...
Google search. Casey's
What's your address, Worm
General
Wax?
Store.
So 1, 2,
Michigan.
3, go fuck yourself.
It's a really strange street name.
Yeah,
No,
I
they
know.
do have Casey's in Michigan.
Oh, we do.
Yeah, you can buy them. Here's one in Waterville, Michigan.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know. I assume it's right next to your house. Because like
KC
Michigan only
gas
has like
station.
Michigan only has like 3 of them. Like I mean of them, I don't mean Casey's, I mean things. They have like 3
Wait,
things.
is it
You know?
Casey's like KC or CAS?
Kaseys, like Casey at bat. This program brought to you by Casey's General Store.
Casey's ground beef pizza.
I'm telling you, man, get it. It's so good.
I'll try it.
Like
If I ever am near a Casey's, I'll try
I
it.
literally just want to send you a picture of this pizza, and you'd be like, "Oh, that looks real fucking good."
Do they
And,
do
like,
they do other
yeah.
hamburgery things?
I mean, you can like you can literally.
Like,
Huh.
is it just ground beef on a pizza
Yeah.
with like marinara sauce and cheese?
Yeah. Yes.
You're convincing, Blake.
Well, like it doesn't need more convincing. The product sells itself. Like,
I'd hire you if I was ever in legal trouble in
Oh,
Missouri.
these are so far away from me.
well,
There's no way I'm going.
I just realized that I opened the Casey's Finder on stream, and so instead of our faces on stream, it literally just showed like our name tags, like a map of Michigan. And it's like, yeah, no,
you
we
don't
can't.
know where I live.
We can't find a Casey's anywhere. But I'll just tell you guys, if you have an opportunity, it is totally worth. Like, it's so good. Like, really, it is. Like, I added it to my phone. They have an app, so I could get reward points. And every few pizzas I get,
You have a problem, Blake.
I get a pizza for free. You know?
Did you get a pizza for free on your birthday, like a personal pan one?
I don't think I did. I should have totally hit them up for a birthday pizza. They sell it by the slice too. If you just drive into the gas station, you can just buy a slice and see if you like it before you commit to a whole pizza. You know.
That's why I
It's like a
my
sampler.
pizza.
But I
Slice of
mean, whenever I say it's by the slice, it's like one of those Sbarro fucking slices that are like pretty fucking huge.
It's like a
Man,
pizza flight.
I'm
Yeah.
getting hungry. Now I want some pizza.
Well, I'm just telling you, man, like that, they make real good pizza. Like, I'm not shitting around. I mean, is it the best pizza I've ever had? No, because I've been to like some really high end fucking, like, we make fancy pizzas, and they were very good. But as far
Did
as
you
like,
try ordering hamburger pizza at the high-end pizza places?
Yeah. that is my favorite pizza. I'm telling you, man.
Excuse me, do you
So-
have ground beef?
So, and they do, by the way. They all fucking do. But
For meatballs.
no, I had a legit hamburger pizza because I ordered a hamburger pizza because that's just how I know it, right? Like that's how I was raised. Is my parents would be like, "What are you gonna get? Pizza, a pepperoni and a hamburger." Okay, and then it just comes like that. So I thought this was like a wide. I'm just finding out that people don't know about this. This is news to me right now. Like I just thought that. And I ordered a hamburger pizza from a place in Columbia where I went to college, went to Mizzou, right? And I ordered a hamburger pizza from Godfather's Pizza. And they misunderstood me because they have a specialty item on the list that's called a hamburger pizza. And it has hamburger, pickles, ketchup, mustard. Like,
This is where I thought you were going.
yeah, it is that. They have
That's what
that.
I thought you were talking about. And so
No.
I think that's what threw me off.
No, I mean they have that, and it was fucking good. By the way, even that was fucking good. And I was like, well, this isn't. I opened it and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then I was like, well, I'm gonna eat it. And so I did.
I'll
And-
eat anything.
Well, I was fucking hungry. I just like,
food in college.
you get home and you're like, yeah, hamburger pizza. Flip it open, you're like, fuck, what is this?
Ketchup.
It's like this guy. Why is there mustard on my pizza? Like and pickles. Who puts that on a pizza? And I was like, those sons of bitches. And I was about to call and complain. I'm like, no, I'm gonna eat it. And then I ate it, and I'm like, okay, this is actually
have-
pretty good.
Did it have like Big Mac sauce for the base
No,
instead of marinara?
just
Okay.
just ketchup,
That's
mustard.
good.
And like I said, it actually was real good. I was surprised. But yeah,
There was
no,
this-
seriously, ground beef pizza is like 5 times better than pepperoni. Pepperoni is like the most overrated topping in comparison to like just straight up ground beef. Serious. I don't know why you don't believe me on this.
Pepperoni's good.
Yeah, it is. It's good pizza. sucks dick compared to ground beef. Just saying.
I'll have to find a place this weekend that does it near me. Try it
You don't
out.
have to
Oh my
find a
God.
place that does it. Just call any pizza place and be like, "I'd like a beef
what I mean.
pizza,"
I
and they'll
don't
be
Okay,
like,
so I think if
"Yes,
you order
sir."
ground beef on your pizza,
And they're gonna be like, "Ah, man of culture.
I
Here's
think
your
that's
pizza, sir."
like that's what you're talking about, Blake, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I like. Why is there mystery? Are you fucking with me?
A hamburger is like a thing. Like a hamburger's like a specialty
Right.
item.
Like bun
Yeah,
and
but I mean, like,
burger,
think
and
about,
I'm not.
like hamburger helper. It's not like you
Yeah.
think about you're making a hamburger.
Yeah.
Hamburger
What do you make
helper.
when you make hamburger helper? You're like, how
I don't
fucked up
know,
is your
man.
hamburger helper? Do you just have noodles on a burger?
No.
You guys don't put it in buns?
I
supposed to do
have.
that?
Actually, I have done that. I mean, that's for real. I have done that. I would love to give Jinso
God.
shit on that, but I have eaten a hamburger helper like a sloppy Joe before. I'm from the South.
Which kind? The macaroni and cheese kind?
No, I hate that one. That one's gross.
Okay.
No,
It's the only one I eat.
the oh fuck, what's a hamburger helper that's actually really good? I have a few that are actually really good, and then some that suck. I have one that was like au gratin potatoes or whatever.
Ooh.
Those are actually that's a pretty good hamburger helper. But the one I'm talking about that I ate tasted more like a sloppy Joe, but it had noodles in it. And then I just threw that shit between bread and
Just regular bread.
yeah,
Wonder bread and
we
hamburger
didn't
helper.
we didn't have buns. Wonder Bread's good shit. Of
Well,
course,
I buy Wonder bread.
I don't actually. I buy the Sara Lee soft and white bread. That's the best. Like that,
buy
as
Wonder
far
Bread.
as like sack of bread goes.
Yeah.
That's the way to
Wonder
go.
bread's a lot cheaper though.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
And it has that whole like Talladega Nights connection.
Yeah, it does. It does
Yeah.
have that.
It's marketing.
Yeah. You know,
Works.
somebody who makes beef pizza needs to sponsor a NASCAR. Actually, they don't because everybody in the South already fucking eats it because they're smarter about food than you.
No marketing
That's-
needed.
No marketing required. They're like, oh, beef pizza finally got a car? Good for them. About goddamn time everybody found out about some goddamn beef pizza. That shit's good. Fucking pass me some whiskey, Jim. They got that beef pizza car.
You're convincing me this is like a deep rural Missouri
I
thing.
I don't know if it's rural Missouri or if it's just the South. I've never been anywhere that doesn't have it.
Have
Whenever
you
I
been anywhere
ordered it.
besides rural Missouri? Ever?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I'll tell you this. I've traveled the world, but I've never ordered pizza outside of the U.S. So I can't attest to other countries.
Ooh,
But
Korea has some good pizza. They put
Yeah.
corn on it. Which is
and
weird.
you're surprised about beef?
Yeah.
Well, no,
you-
I didn't like
you've-
the corn, but you can get it
I-
without corn.
Well, you should. That's
Yeah,
a
'cause
weird
the corn's
fucking
weird.
topping.
But they're just like they look at you weird when you order it without corn. They're like, you don't want corn in your pizza? Like, it'd be like the same as if you ordered pizza without cheese here.
You're like the same as if you ordered pizza without beef here.
You
Who's
don't want
this?
beef in your pizza?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Maybe it's just one place I went to.
I'm
that
sorry.
was
I
really
thought you
like-
were a man with that beard. Like you didn't want beef on your pizza?
It's all a
right.
facade.
All right, Sarah. I hope you enjoy your pepperoni pizza there, Louise.
They actually just kick you out of Missouri if you try.
Oh,
to
you
order
want a pepperoni pizza? Should match your nice red purse and your high heels there, Clarissa.
Go back to Kansas with
Go
your
back to
rolling
Kansas.
hills.
Go back to the wee hills of Kansas. We call those a speed bump here. Get the fuck
Are
out of
there
here.
Irish people, the Irish immigrants that make pizza. in
No, they're
Missouri?
making fun of the Irish Kansans that I made up. They're like,
the wee.
oh, go
hills
back
of
to your
Kansas.
wee little hills, you pussy bitch.
Your beefless hills.
You beefless hills. You raise crops there. We raise cows here. And then we
Oh,
put them on
God.
our everything. We put them on pizza, fucking everything. I'm just telling you. I don't know how you didn't know about this. It is literally disturbing to me. So you should go order now. Order
Beef
pizza.
It's all
Hell,
right.
I'm saying if you just want to hold out and we'll see if the podcast supports you in your
I'm waiting
ignorance,
for that.
I will order you a pizza. Like I will do that. And no questions asked. I mean, we just got our Patreon money in. And it was actually like finally at I am not concerned level, so that's good,
Nice.
right? So, which is good because I also just paid like the year of like all of our shit that's due. And I was getting very concerned because I got a couple more of those popping up, and I'm like, yeah, this is getting a little tight. But now I think we're back to a level that's sustainable, so that's good.
That's
And
good.
probably more than enough if somebody throws in some pizza money, we can cover that for you.
I'm
Hell,
looking right now.
if it
and
goes up $20, let's see what the Patreon's at right now. And if it goes up $20, then I'll throw in some beer.
is beef like the Domino's app has beef on it? Do you think that's ground beef?
Yeah,
It's gotta be.
that's what it
I've
is.
never seen that.
That's
I've
what
literally
I
never seen that option.
that's what I order from Domino's when I get Domino's. But don't try this pizza as a Domino's pizza and judge it based on because you're judging it based on the quality of fucking Domino's, who like last year made a total advertising change of, hey guys, we know we're shitty and we make shitty pizza. So we're going to try to make better pizza. Domino's. Like that was
Was
their
that
whole
their
shtick.
I never heard
Did
that.
you not see any of those? It's like
No.
yeah, man, Domino's, we used to really suck and our sauce was terrible and our pizzas were bad and people bought us anyway and we don't know why. And now we're trying to be better at what we do. So
It's like those ads
Domino's.
from McDonald's back in the day where it's like, we're now using 100% beef. And you're like, wait,
What were you using
what
before?
was it before?
It's like now with no bone meal and earwigs. Like, oh, thanks, guys. Good.
We removed all the horse meat.
Now
Don't worry.
all-meal chicken. Wait,
Now-
what?
Now with 30% chicken feet. Like, wait, what?
What have I been eating?
Oh God.
I
So,
mean, if there's some human in there, I'm okay with that. No.
You'll get the hunger, man. Don't
No.
eat people.
I mean, I'll tell you this. Go ahead and order it, but not from a chain. Like, order a good place's beef pizza.
Okay.
Ask me first. I know which ones are good.
You know what local pizza places in Colorado are good.
Yes.
Okay.
And by the way, I've eaten beef pizza in Colorado, you fucking savage. Because we went there to ski,
Yeah.
and at the ski resort, they delivered to us a beef pizza, and it was fucking delicious. So they know how to make it there. It's not some
I don't live close
mysterious
to ski
thing.
resorts though.
It's not only a ski resort thing, man. It's fucking
Yeah, like, that's
everywhere.
like one place in Colorado knows how to make beef pizza, so all of Colorado does it.
And it shouldn't be.
If Domino's knows how to make beef pizza, everywhere fucking does. I've already established that cooking
I
meat
trust
in an
you.
oven is an effective way to do that. We got through that barrier. And now you're pretending like meat doesn't exist in other states and has
No, I
no
trust-
cross application
you're
to
just-
other
you're just saying-
foods?
I had good beef pizza in the ski resort in Colorado. Therefore, where you live 4 hours away, also must have good beef pizza.
Please,
trust you,
God,
buddy.
do not smite this man for his stupidity,
I'm
and
gonna
let
get
me
some beef pizza soon.
let me just send you one. I don't even care. I'll do it. Like, I'm gonna donate to the podcast if somebody else doesn't. One fucking pizza, and I'm gonna put it in like, how they have those messages. Like that was part of Domino's ad campaign. It's like, send us a message of something you want us to do for fun. I'm gonna be like, I want you to walk up to the door, and I want you to hand me my beef pizza and say the following: eat this pizza in front of me, because I want to witness you enjoy pizza for the first time. You uncultured piece of shit. I need to record, like, somebody timestamp this so I know what to write on the receipt of like the special instructions.
Oh my god.
Because I want a guy to just show up at your house. Like, when do you eat dinner? 6:30? 7?
6, yeah, 6.
6? Okay, I'm gonna have some guy show up with your house with a pizza box in hand, and he's gonna say that because I'm gonna put it on the fucking special instructions. I'll tip him an extra $5. I don't even care. It's worth it. So, there you go. 30 minutes in. New record, by the way. And
And
it
there's
only
only
went
been
that
one
long.
topic. It's been all about beef pizza.
No, it's only been that long because I am outraged at your ignorance.
I
Like,
feel like Wormax was with me, and Wormax kind of bitched out.
I think
No, I'm with you that like I haven't eaten it, but I'm not with you that you seem so aghast that like it could be a thing. Like I know I've heard about it before. I
hold
just
on
haven't.
one second.
Thought we were
One
on the
second.
same team, Wormax.
My son has just come downstairs. He wasn't supposed to do that. But since he's here, hey Max, have you ever had come here, talking to the microphone, you're gonna be on the podcast. Here, I need you as a witness. Alright, son. Have you ever had hamburger pizza before? Okay.
He just said no.
This is why you don't rely on child witnesses. Max, beef pizza, like we eat all the time, you know, with the meat on it. You know that pizza? Yeah? Is it good? You have to talk, buddy. They can't see you nodding your head, so you have to talk. Say yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you had
You
that
just-
pizza
You're
before?
leading the witness.
Barbecue pizza?
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you've had it before? Is it good? Is it like the best? All right, go lay on the couch.
You just said barbecue pizza. That's not the same.
Well, no, that's a different variety of the same thing. Barbecue pizza always has hamburger on it, and it has barbecue sauce instead of pizza sauce.
Max, have you
definitely
ever had
had
beef pizza? Say yes.
He wasn't cooperating. He was sitting there like off screen nodding. And I'm like, this is useless to me, son. You're on a like I have to tell this to people on the witness stand all the time. Like, okay, you're gonna have to answer yes or no because the record isn't recording you nodding along. And they're like, oh, okay, yes. And I'm like, good, all right. And then the next question I ask, they'll like shake their head no. And I'm like, you can't do that. You have to actually like say the words because it's being recorded. And they're like, okay, no. Like, all right, thank you. Wow. Like,
Oh.
so anyway, League of Legends. We were talking about that.
Are you sure?
No, we
Okay.
weren't. I kept trying, but we kept rotating back to beef pizza over and over and over again. And then my son failed to back me up on that because, you know, he's a good kid.
He knows what's right.
Good job,
So,
Max.
Yeah, he knows that backing you up
So-
isn't the way to go.
Anyway, League of Legends. I've gotten a lot of like community response asking me how my climb is going since I plummeted off of one of Missouri's steeper hills in Elo. All right, Max, I need you to go back and lay on the couch, son. I love you, but you gotta lay down. What? Your tooth hurts? The one that's coming out?
Right here.
Which one?
This one.
Okay, this is super interesting for
Ask him what
everybody.
time it is, Blake. Hurry.
All right, I don't see anything wrong with it, dude.
I know, but oh,
All right, well,
Blake,
go up
ask
to
him
your
what time
bedroom,
it
man.
is.
Max, you know what time it is? It's time to go to bed, son.
2:30.
Oh no, that's a lame.
Blake, come on.
Hey, all right, hold on.
Ew.
Come here. We're gonna have a child react to that joke live on the podcast. Come here, Max. All right, Max. Do you know what time it is?
what?
It's 2:30.
No reaction.
He looks sadder for having heard
Great
that joke.
joke.
So, all right, go to bed, son. Love you.
You just didn't get it.
Just
Yeah,
really
he
showing
just did. No, he got it.
His
He
cognitive
definitely
level's
got it.
not high enough.
He's like, Dad, I don't think that was ever a good joke. I'm disappointed in you. I'm gonna go eat some
Oh.
hamburger pizza,
Some barbecue.
and I'll never admit it in public for whatever reason. But okay, so League of Legends. Everybody's been asking me like, hey, how's your climb going? You know, I took that big drop, and then like everything kind of went to shit, and I got some coaching, and they pointed out some things that I wasn't doing right. And the funny thing is, like, literally the act of fixing that one thing has made a huge difference because that wasn't where like that thing was largely where I was falling off in effectiveness because when I wasn't hitting, I wasn't doing anything. Like I wasn't creating opportunities, I wasn't creating kills, I wasn't snowballing leads, I was just missing. And then you're like, "Oh, well, yeah, you created a lot of pressure, but you didn't kill them. You didn't do anything to create an advantage. And it's weird how literally just the act of forcing somebody into a dodge position before I threw, which is something that I knew to do, I just developed a bad habit. And like a lot of that bad habit was developed for two reasons. Is one, I was playing at lower elos where people didn't dodge shit, so it didn't matter. I'd just throw it at them. And if they had flash up, I'd throw it at them because they would flash directly backwards and I would still hit them, right? Or I was playing somebody like Zillion who it doesn't matter, like, I'm not trying to predict your location, I'm not trying to make you dodge, I'm fishing. Right? Like I'm hitting you with a bomb and then I'm hitting you with another bomb as fast as humanly possible. You know what I mean? Or I'm slowing you first, and then I'm hitting you with two bombs as fast as humanly possible before the slow wears off.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really about how quickly can you input your combo. And with Brand, it's a lot the same way because it's like I'm going to hit E, and then I'm going to hit you with a Q as fast as humanly possible because the whole point of me walking forward to EU is to set up the stun.
Right.
Right? And then I'm going to drop W right after I hit the E. So I hit my passive on you, and then it's like, ha ha ha, I fucked you over, right? And so, like, because of that, it was causing me to just miss on shit like Blitzcrank and Thresh and Nautilus and all that. Like, I'd run at him, and I'd be like, ha! And it's like, no, man, like, hold it. Make
Yeah.
them swizzle. And then after you make them swizzle, your percentages will go up because they have less room to dodge.
Yep.
Right? And so I've mentioned this and I feel like I have like just steamrolled over the topic. Like there's a teaching point here that I'm just assuming everybody knows what I'm talking about. Right? So why don't one of you two guys break down what I mean by like force them to swizzle? Because I know like
Yep.
somebody in bronze is like, what the fuck?
Mm.
like what the hell is this guy
Yeah.
talking about? You
Yeah,
know,
so to break down what that actually is, and I do this a lot on like my most played jungle is Lee Sin. If you run at someone and you have a skill shot that is like your whole kit, like Lee Sin Q, Blitzcrank Q, Thresh Q, where they have to dodge it or they're dead. If you keep running towards them, there's a good chance they will try to dodge preemptively because doing a dodge before you actually throw the ability is more efficient if you actually throw the ability, though. If you don't throw the ability and you keep walking at them, a lot of times they will slow their progress away from you, forcing yourself on top of them. And then a lot of the champions that play this way have abilities to secure the hook when you're right up next to them instead of trying to throw it from a long distance. So on Thresh, you walk at them, they're trying to dodge, but instead they slow themselves down, and then you get in flay range. And when they're slowed from flay, it's much easier hook. With Blitzcrank, you have your E knock up, and with Lee Sin, like you have your
well,
E
like
slows them. So pretty much any champion where you're trying to hit these long range skill shots, if you force them into a position where they're closer to you, it also makes the skill shot easier to hit because they don't have as much room in between them and the skill shot.
so like I want to add on to that a little bit. So like we talked about Thresh, like okay, you walk it. Whenever I say you make them dodge, I don't necessarily mean you walk in a straight line at them, right? What I mean is that you are walking at an intercept path to their safe point, right? Because if you're walking, like imagine you're in lane bush and they're even with you, and you just start walking straight at them, like across the lane instead of up the lane, right? Then they're gonna walk away from you and towards safety at the same rate that you're trying to close on them, and you'll just end up like walking in a curve towards them, right? Which is a inefficient path. But if you walk between them and safety or towards between them and safety, it forces them to either have to juke you because they assume a skill shot's coming or just take a different path like away from you, or you've forced a fight to happen, right? And at that point, once fights happen and once people start having to offload damage, it's a hell of a lot easier to hit skill shots, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And
So when you said thresh, like bad threshes lead with hook. Good threshes lead with flay. And the reason for that is twofold. First off, you can flay somebody and during the animation throw your hook and hit them while they're being lifted backwards so they can't dodge. I mean, they can still flash, but then you've at least burned their flash, right? So that's number one. Number two, if you flay them at max range, then they're going to have to try to dodge, even if you're not in a position to hook them, but it'll allow you to either move closer to gap close or hit them while they're slowed, which is much easier to do, right? Because you just pick a direction, and that's how you dodge, versus you can move left or right if you're not slowed, right? With Blitz, it's an entirely different deal. Like with Blitz, you don't have flay, but you have the ability to accelerate yourself. You have a kamikaze button, right? So, like a bad blitzcrank will lead off with hook and then uppercut somebody and then turn on their move speed at that point. You know, like you're just like, oh, I'm gonna keep punching you while you try to run away. Ha ha ha! Move speed, and it's like, well, fuck, you don't even need it, right? Like, I guess save it at that point until you start to lose range, right? And even then, it's kind of pointless. A good blitz will just move at you and then force you to react. And then once you've committed to a reaction, then they'll turn on their move speed, gap close you, then uppercut you, and then hook you. Or make you flash and then hook you. Right? Like any of that engage pattern is like you remember Animaniacs back in the day? They'd be like, a good thing, a bad thing. You know, like you remember that skit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is that. Like don't ever lead with your hook. That's not what you want. I mean, there are times when you will lead with your hook. Like I'm blind in a bush and they have no idea I'm here and they're walking right in front of me and I can land this. Yeah, go ahead and lead with your hook, man. Like that's optimal, I suppose. You know, or like I know exactly where they're going to be in 1 second and I'm going to hook there. Okay, that's a fine fishing attempt, right? But you shouldn't primarily ever be leading with your hook.
I think that goes like triple for ganking or roaming supports. Like whenever I'm
Yes.
roaming up with Nautilus to mid, if I like, let's say there's like an immobile mage like Syndra, I know all she has, if anything, is flash to get away. And so if I come behind that Syndra to mid lane, like through one of those little river ramps, and I can just walk up and auto her as Nautilus in Rooter, I'll do that. Just walk up, auto E. If she flashes away, then Q or RQ, and she's dead. A lot of times, even I'll flash and auto somebody as Nautilus before, like if they're out of range to walk up and auto. Like if I can't get to them,
Well,
then
like with Nautilus is a special case because
yeah,
your ult cannot be missed.
right,
So if you can walk up and ult them, do it.
exactly, yeah.
You know.
And you can just flash ult, or you can flash auto, save your hook, and then when they flash away, you've traded flash for flash, and yours is a lot less important probably than an immobile mid lane mage. Then you can hook them, and then you can ult them, or then you can ult them, and then you can hook them, whatever order you do that in. But a lot of people use their gap close on like a Mumu or Master Yi is a big one if they're ganking, or in supports like Thresh, they'll try to just walk in a lane, blindly throw that hook. And there are situations where I think that's the right call, but those situations are a lot fewer than just trying to walk at somebody and try, like Wormlax was saying, they'll try to do the dodgy thing and they'll just walk and back and forth, and you can just catch up to them if you just right click on them and just let them try to. Yeah.
On that note, I have seen a Muumuus just walk at people and then ult them, and then as they're breaking out of the ult, they bandage toss. Like it's the opposite of what you would normally think to do, but it works equally as well, if not better, because you're not going to miss that bandage toss.
Take the skill out of the skill shot.
Yeah. Make it a shot. Take a shot instead of a skill shot. Way better.
Or just play
Mhm.
Nautilus where you can't miss hook.
Yeah. Yeah, your hook's like 300 feet wide. So it's
the
like,
entire lane.
yeah, it's like a cruise ship's anchor. And so,
That's why I
yeah.
play Nautilus.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is something that like I hadn't been doing because I was playing like I have to fire off my combo so fast, and it eventually got to the point where I'm like, well, fuck, man, why am I doing this so fast? Like I could
Yeah.
slow this down, actually put pressure on them, make them do something that I can like take advantage of, and then all of a sudden, like I just started crushing again, and I'm like, holy shit, it was something that stupid that
Yeah.
was causing me issues.
The other thing I think that really is bad for like conditioning you for habit wise, and I don't know if you specifically did this, but I know I had to like relearn this with supports, is later in team fights, you while it's good to like sometimes you have to be the initiator for a fight, if you don't need to be the initiator, your spells could be really important for peel. And if you just blow everything because you see the enemy team right away, and then an enemy assassin or bruiser jumps on your AD carry, and I hate that feeling when you're like Blitzcrank or Thresh and you're just standing there autoing them. Like, I'm trying to help you as much as I can, but I'm not doing anything. And if you just blow everything the second you see the enemy team, like you're gonna have that happen a lot. So it's a good way too to teach yourself for later in the game in team fights. Hold your abilities for the crucial moments where someone has already wasted their dash to get to your ADC. Now, when you pull them away, now your ADC is going to have an easier time kiting them because they don't have their dash or anything like that. So it also helps with conditioning yourself for later team fights where it's really important to keep your abilities for the crucial moments so you're not wasting them too early.
And so like so that's something that realistically was fairly easy for me to improve once I actually put thought into it.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that we had talked about before was the map awareness aspect of it, and like I wanted to get into this because I was linked a video that like okay, like I'm gonna back up a good amount. Everybody always says, but Double Lift says, but Bjergsen says, but blah 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 Impact says, and I'm like, those guys are playing the game on a level that you're not even remotely on. You should not listen to what they say because it's less applicable to your game
And they have
than
5-man comps.
okay, so I to watch this, somebody sent a video of LS who was doing a coaching review of a game where it was Bjergsen versus Lorlo top. And Bjergsen was playing Aurelia, and Lorlo was playing Rise. And Bjergsen got to the point where he had solo killed the Rise in the solo lane, and Rise didn't know how to break the freeze. Like he wasn't what he should have done, which I thought was brilliant. Whenever they mentioned it, is like just use your ult to throw those minions into tower, and you've broken the freeze, right? And I was like, huh.
Actually, a good idea.
It's like I hadn't would have
That.
never thought of that. I was like
Yeah.
that. I was like, huh, that's a really good idea. But he's like, oh, he doesn't know how to break the freeze. So what does he do? He's gonna go like he doesn't do what like you would do in solo queue, listener, or I would do, and that's sit there and just kind of absorb EXP and make no money because you can't step forward because the other person will kill you. Or you're gonna step forward and get killed and then be like, "This is fucking stupid!" Like, 'cause I just got killed again.
Jungle gap.
Oh God, I'm 4-1. Like I'm 1-4. He's 4-1. Fuck this game. You know what I mean? Like, so what does Lorlo do? He goes and he tries to like go into the jungle, and so he kills their jungler. Okay, cool. Like a play is made, and LS talks about how that should not have happened because he's gone, and so then you can't afford to be anywhere near the top side there. And then he goes and he takes a jungle camp or two. The freeze is still going, so he like backs, spends some money. Freeze is still on. He goes to the other jungle camp because he sees Lee is bottom, so he goes and steals some jungle from his own jungler. The freeze is still on. And I mean, he's getting strangled out. And then by the time this thing is over, Bjergsen is up something like 90 CS and
God.
and 3 tower plates on the rise, who like got a couple of kills, but is totally fucked. And he's like, let's calculate the gold value of those tower plates, of the minions, of everything. And it was something like, even though Bjergsen on paper was like 1-0 or 2-0, right? He was actually like 11-0. Once you calculate the difference in EXP, when the gold value for each level was 500 bucks. So 2 levels is 3 kills, right? 90 minions is like 6-7 kills.
Yeah.
And then tower plates is another, he had like 3 tower plates, which would be another kill. So we're at like 11, 12 kills beyond what he is on paper. And they're like, he's a monster and nobody can go anywhere near him and he can just keep this lane hostage forever. Like, as long as he doesn't do anything with it, like, top is over. And now you've got 2 junglers splitting resources. So you're killing your jungler too,
Yep.
and like, okay. Now, if the rest of the lane, or he's like, if the rest of this team just plays passively, the game is over. Because all I have to do is play defensively, keep my waves relatively close to tower, and Bjergsen will just win. Right? And it's like, and he's talking about, oh, you can go do this camp, you can go do that camp. Why is this guy here? That makes no sense. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all of these guys, and it's like what became clear to me is like I understand all of this and I see all these plays once it's laid out, but playing the game, I do not have the map awareness to pull in the amount of information required to make those decisions. And I'll go as far as to say, listener, neither do you. So if those are the micro decisions that people are making, like how to like how to best, because they're like, oh, the Silas should have went up and broke the freeze, or this should have happened, or that should have happened. Like, dude, you're in gold. None of that shit's gonna happen. People are just gonna randomly appear or not, and you're largely on your own.
I mean,
Like
does that happen in Diamond?
No,
Mm-mm.
No.
no, I'm just saying, like, right now, I'm in gold, so this
right.
is
So I'm saying, like, if it doesn't even happen in Diamond, then like.
right. It definitely doesn't happen in gold
Yeah.
or plat.
Yeah.
Like in plat, they figure out like I can butt fuck this guy if I just keep showing up there because he's not gonna have flash, and I'll just keep killing him. Look, I'm 5-1. Like that's
Yep.
plat, and then plat's gonna be look, I'm 5-1, and then something happened, and then I baby rage and quit. You know, that's plat.
Oh, the promised land.
Mm. Dude, okay, and I go back to that because I want to talk about that again because my experience in gold this season has been unlike gold in any other season. I want to cover the difference, but
It's not the promised land.
not anymore. Fuck.
No.
It
God.
used to be the land of milk and honey where I'm like, this is the part of the game where everybody's actually chill.
Last
like,
season was so great.
I was like, you're gold. You made it. You
we all
got
get a free
You got all
skin.
the end of season rewards, dude. Like, congratulations. Everybody's like high fiving. And like, we did it, guys. Like, we don't have anything to fucking prove. And now it's like junior plat. And everybody's a dick. And everybody has like all these opinions. And like,
well, Blake, all those players, they deserve diamond, and they're being held back by
Well,
their
no,
teammates.
that's
So
plat,
they-
though. That's always
I deserve
been
diamond, I
plat.
know that much.
Well,
Right,
that's
but that's what gold has become, at least in my like.
That's what
What my
everything
theory is-
has become, and that's
Yeah,
the problem.
I feel
Oh.
like with like the overabundance of like league streamers and stuff like that, like everyone feels like their climb is super important. And so like gold used to be, like you said, yeah, you're high five and everyone's happy. We got the skin. I'm an average League of Legends player and I got the gold. That's a good stepping stone. And now everyone's like, if I'm not at least diamond, what is this even worth playing? This game's dog shit. I need to get to diamond, or this game
Diamond
is
or bust.
rigged. And yeah.
But I mean, and that's the thing is like there are 2 times in League where I felt like that, and that's gold, and then Diamond 5, when Diamond 5 was a thing, and people would be like, I got to Diamond, I don't give a fuck anymore, woo, Aurelia mid, and that was before Aurelia mid was actually a
I was about to
thing.
say that's a good pick.
No, pre rework Aurelia mid.
Okay, yeah.
When Aurelia sucked at mid, and they were like, I've earned top, let's go.
But
Woo!
Diamond 5 shit too, because Diamond 5, people are like, all right, here for my 1 decay game. I don't give a shit.
And that was what I'm saying is like you'd get like a whole bunch of like happy-go-lucky troll dumbasses, and then you get people who were like, I'm here to become a professional League of Legends player, and these goddamn Diamond 5 fucking morons, like, yeah, like fucking like baby rage, man. You'd get those, and then like those were the 2 places that I saw like people were just kind of like, okay, I got my goal, I'm happy. Right? Like, Plat's never good enough. Plat's never anybody's goal, apparently, anymore. But now it's like the goal is diamond or the goal is gold. And it's like, okay, cool. Those are your measuring sticks. And you'd see some people would chill out when they got there. But gold was always, or diamond was always worse because it was like, I want to be better. I want to be the very best. And it's, so you had that. You had that, right? But anyway, but back on track. Yeah, so like the map awareness thing, I became more and more like I was like, man, I've got to take in more information if I'm going to be making more decisions that are like relevant and good. Right? And so that was a large part of my problem is I have always kind of accepted that part of my game is going to be shit, right? And because of that, the outcome of my game is determinate not on map plays, but on how well I perform in my spot. And sometimes that doesn't matter, and it's very tilting. And then you're like, well, fuck, I destroyed, and then nothing happened. And it's because I'm not taking in the data to make optimal plays, except the data that's like right in front of my face. Like I'm acting on one piece of the jigsaw puzzle instead of the whole picture. And the decision I'm making on the limited information I have may be good at the time. And then I'm like, well, this is fucking dumb. This didn't work out in my favor. There's always 4 people bottom. Like if you say shit like there's always 4 people bottom, that's your fucking fault. Because you should have recognized that those 4 people are not anywhere else.
And that's Jungle Gap.
No, it's Jungle Gap.
Always Jungle
By
Gap.
the way, I am so fucking tired of the phrase diff becoming the thing. Oh, Jungle diff. Oh, AGC diff.
Yeah.
Oh, top lane diff. Like
League of Legends is just full of parrots, and they
Well,
just watch the streams,
like-
and then they come into their low elo games, and they just parrot what they say.
What
Whenever
are you
things are
talking
going
about,
bad.
you cappuccino?
well, okay, so at least when it was like a meme, it was like, oh, these guys are apes. And then you're like, okay, dude, I get it. You're saying what streamers said. All right, whatever. But the diff thing is like a meme. Like it's hardly even a meme because people mean it when they say it,
Yeah.
and it's mean, and it just points out something that is incredibly obvious to anybody who has eyeballs, and it's like non-feedback, hateful feedback because it doesn't give anything of value, and it's literally like I can just look at the scoreboard, hit tab, and be like 1 in 5, ADC diff. That guy's a piece of shit. And it's like, well, maybe you don't understand that he's died a lot because we lost in team fights to get every dragon, and we went, we went 3-1, but he was the guy that died,
Well, you also
right? Or
have,
like,
you
whatever.
also have like the Wukong I had on my team last night, who was playing into a Shen who took Ignite, and the Wukong got solo killed like 4 times. His first 2 deaths were a TP back where I was playing duo with my jungler, and our jungler hadn't even been to top side of the map yet before our Wukong died twice. So our Wukong died a bunch early, and that game like fell apart because their jungle top just took over the game. And at the end of the game, our Wukong said, "God, this game sucks. Jungle diff. Like he didn't help me at all." And he's saying jungle diff because he solo died multiple times in the lane. So it's like also the phrase gets taken where people use it to justify their own mistakes to be like, oh, it's not my fault I played bad. This other person didn't hold up their end of the game. So that means that like it's their fault I'm doing poorly, even if it's not true in the slightest.
It's
And so
it's the mentality that it can't ever be my fault. Like it
yeah,
always have to like shift the blame. Like what happens if people know that I didn't play well in this video game?
it's a
And it's
scapegoat.
like what I always have to remind myself, because I get that mentality sometimes, is that matchmaking isn't perfect, and sometimes I'm gonna be the worst player in the game. Like I'm not one of the top 10 players in the world, and so there are people that are gonna be in the game
What, you're
that are
not?
gonna be it's surprising. I know. I like when Blake was talking about all those pros playing a different game. I was like, yeah, that's me. But but like I have to remind myself, like there's people that are a hell of a lot better at the game that have the same or similar MMR as I do. And if I get in the game with those people, like I'm probably gonna feed, and that's okay. And it's not, I mean, it's not like great. Like you should try to minimize your impact on losing. Like you should never try to lose the game for your team. But sometimes you're gonna, and that's all right. You'll be the 10th worst player statistically in the game 10% of the time.
Yeah. So I mean, let's like, and this whenever I say like the pro player thing of like they're playing a totally different game than you, like the amount of mental inputs that go in and the amount of like variables that they have to keep track of and the amount of all of this shit, like he got LS got into an argument with Impact about that, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know how I'm supposed to." He's like, "It's fine to say that you can keep track of all those variables while you're playing, but you can't while you're playing. Like you just can't do it, and that's bullshit." And then he LS counters with, "Yes, you can. It's a skill. It's a skill that you develop, but if you write it off as being impossible, then you never will develop it."
Mhm.
Right? And he's like, and in that point, like when you've written it off, you've put a hard ceiling on your ability to do this because you won't ever be able to. I was like, oh shit, that's true of me and being more aware of the map. Like I need to be looking. So like what conscious efforts have I done? And like you can watch the stream and you're going to see my eyes dart down to the mini map a lot more often as I am playing than I used to. Like I used to seldomly look at the mini map. I still seldomly look at the item menu, which I really need to do more often to see what people have. Because like I don't know how many times I've been surprised Zanya'd,
Mhm.
and you're like, oh fuck, they have Zanya.
Yeah, it's like great.
you know. So like everything I just did went ass up because I didn't realize I didn't look at readily available information, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah, and
so like
the thing
yeah.
with being like conscious about like what you're working on, there's a reason that when basketball teams, soccer teams like practice, they don't just go play games the entire week like to try to get better at soccer. You don't just go set up a full team game and play. Like they practice drills to practice specific things you have to do every time you're in game. So it's still a little bit harder with league. Like there is a few things like CSing and like mechanical you could practice in the practice tool, but giving like a conscious effort to those things in game, like sacrificing your like maybe some other playmaking ability that you normally would be good at to consciously focus on a different task that you're bad at, like is a good way to like, okay, I'm going to get better at this game, even if I fuck up a few times this one game, like I'm
Mhm.
gonna get better at this time.
Well,
And
and on that note, I am not saying that I am all of a sudden a map savant. What I mean is like while I'm thinking about it, I'm looking at the map. And that happens for about 5 minutes a game that I have really good map awareness. and then it wears off, and I do other stuff, and I stop thinking about it, and I stop checking the map so often. And then if I remember before the end of the game, I go, oh shit, I need to be doing the map thing again, and then I'll do it for about 5 minutes, right? And then I'll forget and do something else, or like squirrel, and then you know your mind goes, right?
Right.
But the point is, 5-10 minutes of a game is way better than 0.
Yeah.
And if I can turn that 5 or 10 minutes to 15 or 20, then I'm way better than where I was at. And it's like, and that's fine. Like, use every time you fail at it as motivation to, like, God damn it, I need to keep doing that. Like, I can't let my foot off the gas on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think conscious failure is improvement too.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're aware of it, like you're saying, like that's a form of improvement.
So, like, speaking of low-hanging fruit that I was missing out on, that I have a tendency to autopilot whenever I'm playing the game. Like, I've done it 1,000 times. I know what to do. I know what I'm looking for. So I'll just play the game, right? And one of those things that I've been autopiloting on a lot is itemization. Because it's like with brand, oh, okay, you can pick the same 2 items every game and be fine,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, I can pick Leandries, and then I pick Rylai's, and then I do a shit ton of damage, right? And I know this. And look, that's fine. That can work. But like Astros was watching me play, and by the way, Astros is in the chat, so I don't want to speak too nicely of him because he is
True.
literally breaking his own arm, patting himself on the back for this shit. So I just can't buy into it too much. But Astros was in the chat whenever I was streaming, and he was like, you should build this. Like, these 3 teammates, like, they have, like, build Morello. They have 3 healers on their team. Like, you should be buying that second. And I was like, well, fuck, he's right. And so, like, I grit my teeth and I actually did it. Actually, I bought all the components of Rylai's first, and then I sold them all and went back and did it because it's like, but
God.
no, I mean, I did.
All the Rylai's components go perfectly into
No, I
Rylai's.
sold them back into the store and like I
So you
returned
fucked
them.
up.
No, I refunded them just to
Yeah,
fuck with them.
he undid it.
I undid the purchase. I
You
was
didn't
like,
sell
I'm not gonna do what you tell me to do. And then before I left platform, I'm like,
They're literally just
and then before I left platform, I'm like, just kidding. I'll buy the right shit. But anyway, but no, he was right on that, and I was like, well, like, that's something I can just do too much without thinking, right? And I was like, I need to be better about that. And like, I have talked to people like when I'm coaching them in like bronze and shit, and they're like, well, what about my itemization? I'm like, okay, like, your itemization matters, but not nearly as much as these huge other glaring problems right in front of you, right?
yeah.
It's like, and I'm like, oh yeah, well, what do you think about the feng shui of my living room? And I'm like, your house is on fire. This is not the time to worry about feng shui, dude. Get a bucket and, you know, lay some hamburger out on the floor because that shit'll cook. There's a
I was about
heat
to say, man,
source
that's
right
That's
there.
probably on fire from putting all that greasy hamburger meat.
Yeah, like, it was a grease fire from all the hamburger pizzas that they were making.
Oh man, yeah, I think
And you know why they
just
were
for, like,
making those hamburger pizzas, Jinsos? Because they know that shit's gonna sell, and they need to pay for their expensive feng shui shit.
Are they selling it out of their house?
Yeah, why
Sounds
wouldn't you?
illegal.
Everybody's gonna buy them.
Damn, need to
Shit,
get in that market.
you know they say it
Busting
goes like
hamburger pizza market.
say it goes like hotcakes. You know, like, that's a phrase. Like, they'll
Yeah.
sell those like hotcakes. You know what hotcakes are? Warm pizza pies made
I
out
think
of.
they're pancakes, actually.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be. You can bake fucking a pizza on top of a pancake. I bet that's really fucking good.
Put some hamburger on your pancakes.
Why wouldn't you? I bet it's fucking delicious.
I mean, I cook my pancakes in some
dude,
bacon grease.
you ever had a McGriddle?
I've never had a hamburger McGriddle.
Damn.
Really? Oh no, you wouldn't, because I haven't either. I've had a bacon, egg, and cheese, but now I'm
I've
gonna
had a
make a
sausage
hamburger.
one.
I'm gonna go make a hamburger McGriddle now in my kitchen.
Can you make a McGriddle?
Yeah. You know,
How?
McGriddle's just like
It's
like
like a.
pancake batter with like little bits of syrup mixed into the pancake batter. That's all it is.
I thought it was some like McDonald's mystery.
No, no. They like just put syrup and then they mix it into the batter and then they fry it. And then when it comes out fried, like the pancake turns into a pancake, but the syrup stays syrup. And then so you take a bite of it and it's like a blueberry pancake. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? It's got little
But it's like
bits
a
of
syrup
blueberry
pancake.
and it's like, yeah,
I always thought they had like some syrup like
like
gel that they like
technique.
injected into it, like a
No,
jelly donut.
no, I doubt. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a McDonald's
I mean,
cook,
I also
but I
doubt that the
would.
McDonald's people are making these. I think they come from some factory
Yeah,
frozen.
I have a feeling that nobody's injecting shit in McDonald's shit because that's like way too
Well,
time
they're just
consuming.
injecting more fake meat into the
Yeah,
chicken nuggets. Just
Well, we don't have enough bone meal and chicken feet in this,
Now with
so
100% real pancake.
yeah, it's like oh god, McDonald's coffee now made with water. What?
Wait, what?
Like
Now made with clean running water. We used to just scoop up the drain water that was outside, you know.
Now
No.
made with local water from Flint, Michigan.
yeah, no
Oh,
longer
God.
no longer made with employee urine. You're like, wait, what?
I might take that over the Flint water.
You probably would want to.
we
It wouldn't kill you.
we filtered the Flint water through our employees.
Our no longer living employees.
our dead employees.
We
You know-
harvested the water from their dead bladders.
Oh, God.
Their necrotic bladders.
What's
Yeah.
great about Flint, when that first like the water crisis was really like it just happened, my friend went to college there, so I was visiting him, and there's big billboards there that would say things like don't boil water and drink it. Like boiling water doesn't take the I can't think of the word right now for
Impurities out of it.
it. It's,
Death.
Yeah, whatever the
Plague?
substance
It
is.
takes
that
the
makes it-
plague out. That's what it
What
does.
the fuck is that called? It's the stuff that's in
Pollution?
old temperature thermometers.
Oh, mercury.
Mercury.
Yeah, mercury. Yeah,
There's mercury in the water?
yeah.
in Flint.
That's
Flint's
yeah.
People
fucked.
just throw a bunch of thermometers into the river?
no. It's old piping that never got replaced and put up to code that they used to make it with.
They had mercury in pipes?
Yep.
Oh,
And
God.
it's gotten to a point
Yeah,
that
people-
it's coming off into the water source.
Yeah, people would boil the water, and it would just turn slightly red.
And also I think lead too. I think there's a lot of lead piping.
It would go up into a little ball at the end of the pot, and would let them know it's ready. ready to drink.
Oh, no.
But and remember that was what in like 2013,
I don't fucking
2012,
know, man.
and it's still hasn't
And
been
It's
fixed.
still not fixed.
It's still not fixed. They're still screwed.
Oh,
Poor
yeah.
Flint. Flint is a shit show.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, like I said, back to giving Astros credit for the limited amount of time I have the ability to do that. Yeah, no, that was a legit problem. That like itemization was something that it was fairly low hanging fruit that I could fix, and now I've actually been like, I don't know, using my brain whenever I play
Nice.
instead of just like, oh whatever, I'll just spam out some games and.
My team sucks.
Well,
Jungle
no,
div.
and see, I didn't. For me, it was never my team sucks. It was like I am frustrated that I can do well and not end up carrying these games. And then I was like, well, wait a minute. Why am I not able to carry these games? And then that was the big like mental moment for me was like, oh, because I'm not being effective with my CC anymore. Like I'm not landing shit that I used to be able to land. Like I'll still win lane, but I'm not fucking rolling lane like I used to. Right? And so it's like and you win solo queue quickly by rolling.
Yeah.
Right? You win solo queue gradually by being slightly better than the other person. But that's how you like 51% your way. And I don't have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
No, it's always detrimental when like you're in a game and it's like, hey, this person's also platformer like me. Oh wow, they have 5,000 games, and it took them all of those this season just to get to the same level as me, and I have like 50 games this season. Like, wow, that's encouraging.
It's very reassuring.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Oh.
I was in gold, and somebody literally told me they were going to dodge because of me in gold. Because they're like, your win rate's terrible. You're on a streak, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, you've clearly op.gg'd me, which is fine. So what I would suggest you do is look at my win rate on the champion I am playing, which was like Brand, and it was at like 50 something percent, like 58% at the time or something. It was like op.gg me, and then also look at my last 2 seasons before this one. Like, yeah, I'm having a rough time. I'm not.
I think you're just giving him more reasons to dodge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, Blake,
Look,
probably
I
dodged your
used to
game
be
too.
someone who
My
was
OPGG'd
diamond,
you.
now I'm in gold, and I'm just getting angrier and angrier.
Yeah. I used to be great. We were
Back
the
in my
greatest.
day,
We were the greatest generation in the world.
ruined this game.
We used to use mustard gas on our hamburger pizzas.
Used to use mercury in our water.
We used to drink mercury before it was cool.
No one complained.
No
It made you
complaint.
strong.
They just all died.
We all
harvested their organs for
we all went insane and died, and the Nazis didn't even know what to do. They just surrendered. 'Cause they're pussies. Not like us in the real
everybody's-
generation.
Crying over simple war crimes.
We made our teeth out of the teeth of our enemies when they went rotting from all the mercury we was drinking. We had to. We were crazy at the time. Nobody knew what the fuck was going on. We were all in the
Because of all the
mercury.
mercury.
I barely even remember. It's all a blur,
We
a
were
red
even
blur.
doing
No.
shit like putting hamburger on our pizza.
That's how we discovered it. We had all these cows sitting around, all this pizza sitting around. We didn't have any other toppings, and we were high. We had all this mustard gas, and somebody said, you should make a hamburger pizza. And I said, you, sir, are an American hero. And that's how my commander, Chef Boyardee, registered. Save the pizza industry in the South. All right, with that, we're going to close out. We're at an hour, 17 minutes. Thank you guys for sticking with us. Sorry for the first 30 minutes. Somebody
We're not sorry.
contribute some money so that we can buy our uncultured swine friend here a pizza.
Lots of people contribute a little bit of money. Or one
Speaking-
person contribute a lot of money. Stimulus checks too are coming out. What better thing to do?
Stimulus checks are coming. Give us your Trump money.
$1,200 for a one-time donation to Patreon.
Stim to
All right.
Electric Boogaloo.
You know what sucks is like I'm looking at our Patreon, like I'm trying to go find somebody so I can say, hey guys, thanks for contributing this episode. A shout out to so and so. And I looked in the first thing and it's like $5 per month is pledged. And then the very next one is like $5 a month is deleted. I'm like, fuck.
That was me. I no longer believe in the cause of Lola.
Yeah.
We gotta
So
restore his belief with
yeah,
Voting with my money.
please help me out, guys. So, all right, let's go to our people here in the relationship manager category. And Jinsos, give me a number. Like, you got probably 1 through, I don't know, 28?
Wow. 14. Smack in the middle.
14, okay. 1, 2, 3,
17.
4, 5, 6, 7,
Changing
8,
it.
9.
can't keep changing. It's
17.
confusing.
That's my email.
17. Thanks, Double Sniffed, for your support of the
All right,
podcast.
14.
Okay, 14. Thanks. Fucking Double Sniffed. Thanks, Christopher Goats. We appreciate you, man.
Oh, that's
You're
me.
amazing. This dude's
That is
probably
not
challenger,
you. He's got a
level
picture
player
on here.
stuck in whatever elo he actually is.
No.
This guy, I mean, if you are donating to the podcast, you're automatically a challenger level player.
It's
It's just
true.
that's the truth.
You're the
So-
goat.
That's why I don't donate to this.
You're the goat. Ugh.
You're the-
So, all right, thanks, man, for your support of the podcast. This episode goes out to you. You're the best. We love you, and keep on keeping on, man. Thanks for being number 14.
I
All
love
right,
you.
enjoy a hamburger pizza this month.
Not on us though.
Not courtesy of us, but the idea.
Just enjoy it. Just enjoy it though.
Yeah, the idea and love came from us. It's good, man. Seriously, it's amazing. All right. Good night, everybody. It's a somber one this week. All right. There we go. We
Oh
shut
god, I've
it
had to pee
down.
for like the last 30 minutes.
That's good.
I
Use
was
that
gonna do it
energy.
and just
Fight
keep my
through
mic
it.
on and just like keep podcasting, but
Perfect.
Mm.
no.
Well,
So last night on the stream, Aiden was on, and we ended up doing a whole bunch of shit talking league casts the whole time, like while he was there on purpose. It was good. It was good.
nice. It's always
Well,
you
there
know,
was
it's
also
better
like self-deprecating humor because we were comparing us to league cast, like they're pieces of shit for having money and like
than-
shit like that.
Wow, look at how good they turn out. Their views are so much better than ours. They're so much better. That just makes them worse.
Must be
Wow.
nice to be loved by your community and appreciated for your effort, bitch.
Look at my large American community. That was a oh.
And by the
I
way,
think that's more of like a Tommy Wiseau impression than a
the-
Asian impression.
the fucking their ability to have the moniker that they're like the longest running league podcast, like that's all I ever hear. It's like, oh yeah, you should listen to League Cast. They're like the longest running one. I'm like, they have not been on that much longer than us. Like just so we're clear. Like once you crest like however many years we've been at this shit.
Ooh,
Like
just pinch my finger.
fuck
do you know the exact of when they started, when you guys started?
it. No. Not even close.
Is it only like a couple months?
I know they were ahead of us by like a year or two.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's the longest running.
Well, no, they are the longest running because Loilo got out of the game, and there
You
was
guys were on another one, right?
yeah, we were
Then you
on.
staged a coup and
Uh-huh.
Sam
That's
overthrew
right. No, we staged a coup, and the guy told us to go fuck ourselves, and he didn't like any of our ideas, and then we should all just shut the fuck up and be sheep.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Literally his words. Like, I don't give a fuck. This is my show. Shut the fuck up and just do what I tell you to do. And we're like, oh, well, fuck you then. And we all quit. That was literally what happened. I'm not like
Damn.
I'm only exaggerating this much.
Wow.
And that's just pure like
How much is that in terms of exaggerating?
he said those words but not in the blunt. He took 30 seconds longer to say what I just said. So I was paraphrasing but not quoting, and that's where the exaggeration came in.
It's fair.
But it was literally like he told me, I once told him, I said, I got an idea. 60-second tip. You do a mechanical tip. Real quick. Something under 60 seconds to get better at the game. Blah, blah, blah. It's something we should do. And he goes, yeah, your idea sucks. And I don't want to do it. And it's my show, so I'm not going to fucking do it. You're not here to make ideas. You're here to fucking talk. So just fucking talk. That's all I want.
That would
from
never
you.
fly, especially
You're
on
just
any
a pretty
esports
face,
game.
Blake.
And I'm like, oh, well, if that's how you feel, then here's where you can shove it. Because I like,
and
it's-
where's that guy now?
he doesn't exist. Like-
He's the hamburger on Blake's pizza.
Mm,
Blake ground his meat.
yeah. Well, no, he has a, let's see if I can find the, site.
Is it dickdangles.com?
Now, there's like a gaming site. It was called Mog. And I don't remember what it was, but I found his Facebook. Mog Nation. That's the name of the site. Let's see if it's still even up. No, it's down. It's gone.
Out of the game.
Out of the game. This domain is available. I almost want to buy it just to have it linked to Lola Podcast.
He's got a Twitter that says Mog Nation is an adult gaming community.
Yep.
We have kids, spouses, bosses, and a general lack of sleep.
Oh, he is a fucking weirdo. I mean, his last post on his shit is a picture of him with the shark from Finding Nemo in the background. He's Aquaman. His scepter has a microphone on it. It's his face superimposed over Aquaman, animated, well animated, like somebody who has art chops did this. The Little Mermaid is at his feet, like she's like some sort of like I don't know, admirer, right? And then Flounder, it looks like he's aggressive, but is being poked by his fin or something, and he's standing on top of an octopus.
That's
That
real
was
weird.
that was posted on May 16th of 2013.
He sounds like a cool dude. Sounds like he's way cooler than any of us.
Yeah, for real, dude.
I
Well,
mean,
like,
you
and
Can I
keep in
join
mind,
his podcast?
this man was in his like mid 40s.
You're
Whenever,
getting there, Blake.
yeah, okay. And like I said, his domain is literally shut down. Like it's done so, and he hasn't been on this in forever. But
Sad.
he listed himself as at Ivan of Mog, public figure. He tagged himself as a public figure.
yeah, if you have to tag yourself that, you're not a public figure.
I just
And-
found him. This is the weirdest crap.
Oh, you
The
found him on
Aquaman thing?
Twitter? Or because his at Ivan of Mog is no longer even on Twitter.
I found him on Facebook. It's the first thing that popped up.
Yeah.
The Aquaman thing.
Yeah. It's weird as shit.
A prolific podcast producer and gaming enthusiast.
He is not prolific. He's a dick. Like, undeniably so. I basically blew up his whole cast, and then Sam and I splintered off and did our own thing.
Nice.
Because
Oh,
I
sad.
basically not only told him to fuck himself, but got everyone else on the show to tell him to fuck himself.
Mm.
That's what happened. Like, there were some people like, I don't know, maybe we can change this and make it better. And I'm like, nope, we tried
Or
to
you
do
can
that.
just scrap it and do something new because you
It's
have
like-
nothing invested in it. It's
Yeah.
a podcast. Like, you have name recognition, but there's not any.
Well, like, that's the thing is, his podcast was called Sarcastic Summoners.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually, like, I don't know, like, fifth. Like, I would listen to it after I listened to every other podcast I actually wanted to listen to. And I had nothing left. It was like the Lola of its generation.
Hey now.
And
I actually, before I like joined the community and all that, when I was listening to the League podcast Mowing the Lawn, League of Legends Radio was number 1, and then Lola was number 2.
you liked League of Legends Radio over Lola?
I did.
Huh.
Ponderous was like angsty. It was partially because I missed teaching middle school. I was doing sales at the time, and so I got that. I got that from Ponderous. Like actually, I was like, "This is the middle school mind." Like, and I would just like come up, like I would just think all these arguments for Ponderous's point. I'm like, "You're wrong there." Like I don't know why, but like, and mostly like his arguing style was just dumb. But it ignited something inside of me, and then I liked Lola.
Mm.
The T-Force guys just annoyed the hell out of me. And
But like,
Leadcast
okay,
was just
T-Force,
too much.
to be fair to T-Force, they were as good as their combination of cast members.
Mm-hmm.
And there were times at which their combination of cast members were like toxically terrible together.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, I don't, like, okay. Back up. A long time ago, they had a chick on their show named Days Untold. And she was a support main. And she was like, I don't know, plat or something. Like, she was actually pretty good. And she had a lot of really good points in game analysis. But the community was super misogynistic back then. And they did not want, they wanted a girl on the show because they wanted somebody to laugh at jokes. They didn't want a girl on the show to tell them how to get better at League.
Yeah.
And so she kept fighting for validation, right? Like, you should value my opinion because it's right. And it is. Right? Like
Yep.
objectively, she gave good information and but people just didn't want that from her.
Right.
So she had to talk twice or three times as long as anybody else, and then people found her annoying because it's like this chick never shuts up, and it's like, well, you guys really aren't giving her any kind of a chance to
Yep.
perform. And then she just slowly faded off the podcast because it just wasn't working. And it was one of those things that's like she was good, she was knowledgeable, she was well spoken, but nobody was ready for her brand. Like she also
Yeah.
needed to like dial it back a little bit to be like accepted,
Right.
and then she could get into like she just wanted to skip steps and be a knowledge resource without earning trust. And for
Yeah.
women in gaming, it's like the threshold is super low. People want you in, right? Like guys in particular want you in and want to hear a girl's voice and whatever, but like
But not for knowledgeable
not for now. I
resources.
mean, well, like I said, the threshold is super low, but the bar to be a resource is super
Yeah.
high,
Right.
and that's fucked up. I mean, it shouldn't be like that, but it
Yeah.
is. You know, and so they had her doing that, and I think honestly, she was just ahead of her time. I think if she did that now, that people have accepted like Froskuren as an
Mhm.
analyst, I
Yeah.
think she would have a much more easy time being plugged in now than she would then. But
And even
back
like
then, or
Kelsey
Kelsey
Moser's like a
Moser, yeah,
yeah.
it was like so now I think people are actually like looking to legitimately intelligent women as being a resource.
Right.
It's getting better at the
Yeah,
very least.
at least it's getting better, but it wasn't
Yeah.
around at that time. Then they brought on like the Claude, who was awesome, and he was like a great source of like lighthearted, comedy relief, like just a good-natured guy. Like he was the Ernie of their podcast, right? Like, and that was cool. He was always a super cool dude. And they had like Punchinello, who was like the Brad of their podcast, like a good guy, fun to hang out with, always had something good to say. Actually, Cheer Jaden was more like the Brad of their podcast.
Mhm.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Punch could go either way. We met Punch when we hung out at Worlds. He was super cool, dude. Like,
Oh,
love
nice.
that guy. Yeah, he came to hang out. Like, he got a
Is that the
hold
guy
of
that sounds like
us.
Derp, like super deep voice?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, I remember that
So,
guy.
he actually got a hold of us when he found out we were all in Chicago. And he's like, "Hey, do you guys want to hang out?
Oh,
Like, I'd
sick.
love to hang out with
Yeah.
another group of podcasters." We're like, "Fuck yeah, man! Come on!"
Nice.
And like he rolled around with us to bars. Like we went to the old like arcade bars and shit with Punch. Like super cool, dude. And then they brought on Horse Doctor, who was like a high elo dude. But
Horse doctor?
he was a veterinary student. He was also a douchebag. Like,
His name's
in,
Horse Doctor.
yeah, he was
I
an
mean-
enormous fucking asshole. And so, and like super into his own ego. Like he is the classic I'm a master tier player. I'm so good at the game. You should listen to everything I say without question. And if you disagree with me, you're a dumbass piece of shit. It was like one of those, right? And I think Adam was a bit infatuated with the dude because he was high elo, right? And it's like, wow, I got a master tier guy on my podcast. Like, what credibility, you know? But at the same time, the dude was awful on the show. Like, just he was not and that's what I've always said with Lola is like you have to be good enough at the game and know what you're talking about enough to have a minimum level of credibility before you podcast, right? Because
That's even
people
like
want
why
to know.
I try to not like, say a bunch of tips and stuff like that, because like my peak was gold 1. And it's like, it's decent, but it's not good.
Mhm.
And so like, I try to keep it like
Light.
yeah, and not try to ever like you should do it this way. So
Yeah. It's
chime
also
in
kind
and
of like what Blake was talking about on the podcast though, like with Master Tier and Challenger. Like those guys are playing such a different game. Like
Yeah.
I freaking hate how many people love to watch like the silver to like challenger runs and stuff like that, and they think that like, oh, I'm getting good information about watching this, how to play in my games, and it's like, no, not really, because this person's so much better than the person they're playing against. They're just fucking around and doing whatever they want. It's not good to get like, you still need to be knowledgeable, but like I would say that a plat or diamond player is going to give better advice to a silver or gold player, because more than likely they're close, have been in the situation of the silver or gold player than
Right.
the master or challenger tier players.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, and it's like a challenger tier player is literally looking at so much more information than you are taking, like volumes more information at any given second, like than you are.
Mhm.
Period. And I mean, they know this stuff. Like the coach that I was talking about is like, well, aren't you worried that they're going to TP behind you? And I was like, no, I just kind of accept that as a possibility at any given time because it happens so infrequently. Like people take advantage of that effectively 1 out of 3, 4 games.
Mhm.
And if I get TP ganked one time, 1 out of every 3, 4 games, okay. You
Doesn't
know,
make any difference.
yeah, I'll lose more than that respecting a TP play that will never come.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I also understand that the guy's 100% right.
Yeah.
You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like I should be,
Yeah. And
but I'm
like I started
also
watching a shit ton of LCS the last couple seasons, and like actually like I feel like you were saying I understand what the analysts are saying, and like I even like pick up on stuff before they say it sometimes, and but like playing a solo queue game, it's like none of that is applicable at all. Like that doesn't make me a better player by any means.
well. I mean, here I'll just show you what I'm talking about. Like
Yeah.
if you go to general chat, and yeah, I'm putting in general chat. This video is the one I'm talking about where he's dissecting that Lorlo versus Bjergsen game,
Mhm.
and he's going so much deeper into the game on things that you literally never would have put any thought into. And these are outcome determinant decisions, right? And he's talking about how you're essentially putting a gun to the head of the other team by Bjergsen doing this freeze because he's literally creating an atomic bomb.
Yep.
And as long as everybody else doesn't respect it, then, like, okay, game's going to be over the second Aurelia drops that bomb,
Mhm.
you know? So,
Oh,
Yep.
shit. Okay, I
But-
just I have to get going
no, that's
because
fine. I'm going to stop the stream now.
yeah, I totally forgot. I have to get up at like 5 a.m. tomorrow.
Oh, I have a
Woo!
golf tournament tomorrow. I wonder when I
I have
have to
to
be there.
drive like 2 hours away, and I have to
To get
be there at
Casey's.
6:45. So
Are you gonna get Casey's?
it's not that way. The way I'm driving, I'm driving. First, I'm going. So I live on the west side of Michigan. I'm driving east to like the middle of Michigan, and then we're going up to Sault Ste. Marie, which is the where like the intersection of Lake Superior and wait, no, that wouldn't be Lake Superior. I'm an idiot. It's Lake Erie. Holy shit! Do I not know my lakes when I'm living in Michigan?
I don't know the lakes. You
Yikes.
could just say any lakes.
Yeah.
Lake Titicaca.
Anyways, I'm going the opposite. All the Casey's are like southwest of me, and I'm going northeast. Oh, it's Lake Huron. Wow, I'm an
Does
idiot.
Michigan border Montana?
No, it
Okay.
borders.
I was in
Minnesota.
Montana the other day. That was
No,
nice.
it doesn't. It kind of borders Minnesota and Wisconsin on the north end.
All right, let's see. American map. Okay. Oh yeah, Dakota. Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Are you in Fargo?
No, no, I'm in Grand Rapids area.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Mm.
Damn.
It's pretty
Yeah,
nice.
I don't know any Midwest geography, which sucks because I live in Colorado.
It's also difficult because it's all just like an amalgamation of states in the
Yeah.
middle. Like
I know.
Michigan is obviously very pronounced, right in the middle of this lakes. You can see it, but then you go like southwest, and it's like, that's just a bunch of stuff thrown together.
Yep. Dude, we drove up through Wyoming and went to the Tetons, which was insane. Like they're the
Oh,
coolest.
I've been there before.
Yeah, it's like the coolest mountain range I've ever seen. But we did that, and then we went to on the way back. We went to Yellowstone afterwards with my parents. On the way back, we went to this place Star Plunge that I just left in the chat. It's this hot springs, like natural hot springs water park.
Oh
It's
shit!
it's the greatest thing I've ever been to. It's like I think it was like $30 for me, my wife, and my kid to get in,
That
and it's
looks
all
really
this like
nice.
super hot water, and they just have these giant water slides that they haven't updated since the 80s.
So when I went to the Grand Tetons in Yellowstone, it was like I was in middle school and we rented an RV and we were
Mm.
gone for like a month doing like all
Ooh,
this huge trip out west.
nice.
And one of
Did
our
you go to
stops,
Yosemite? The Yosemites?
Yosemite. Yes, we did. One of the things that was
Is
on
that
our
the way he
list,
said it?
The
yeah,
Yosemites? Yep.
it was the same way. There
Yep.
was
You said
there
it
God.
was
twice too.
All
Sorry, go ahead.
there we were supposed to stop at like kind of what you were talking about, like a hot
right,
springs, like
I'm
water
gonna stop
park.
the stream. I'll talk to you guys later. Have fun. See you.
All right,
Later.
later.